forgot he had a team because he's all that I see. So let's catch the others out and we can pick up a lead. But then without a warning, he kills us while we're warding. A dragon with short arms and legs, he's just a cosmic.
Oh, you know.
I fought a alien soul, he countered with Thor. I had him but he pushed me back and slowed me. Killed by a alien soul. I'm just trying to get by pushing a small wave of creeps. When from the edge of fog of war I see him headed for me. With all of that movement speed I had to burn flash to retreat. But how can I avoid a stun the size of a galaxy? Soon it'll be 60 and oh, they should have already won. But he won't take our towers down cause he's still having fun. I cannot wait to report this guy when the game is done. But there's no way that this can end without him dying once. Must kill alien soul. Will I carry out my goal or will I have to let him finish legendary? Must kill alien soul. Must kill alien soul. Will I carry out my goal or will I have to let him finish legendary? Must kill alien soul.
Okay, well, the lobby is going to be getting finished up here. We're just going to sort of welcome everyone to the chat so far in the game. That we'll be watching the Stellar Division here with Wannabe Banditos versus I'm Yordles. I'm the host once again this evening, the AMO, and I got with me Quit Badgering Me.
Hi. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm good.
It's a lovely Tuesday evening for another Stellar Division matchup. Tuesday nights is the best nights for me to cast, and seems like most of the Stellar teams play on Tuesday nights. So I've seen a lot of the Banditos, but I haven't seen any of the Yordles, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I haven't actually been watching I haven't had the chance to sit down and watch any games yet this season, so I'm pretty stoked to see what we're gonna get this evening.
So, it looks like we got a little. We're gonna have a couple of subs here tonight, but but that's okay. For the Wannabe Banditos, they have Ziggy. He's gonna be playing AD carry tonight. Normally, he's their support, and it looks like they brought in my team support Witness to cover for the substitute there. And then on the side of I'm Yordles, Matt Brew is normally the support on that team, but he's going to be playing AD carry as their AD carry Canthor is going to mid lane because Seas of Cheese is unable to make it, and they have brought in Lost Manifesto to play. No, he's top lane. They've brought in Kiki Runner to play jungle and move their jungler to support. They've swapped everyone on I'm Yordles, so we'll see how that goes.
Sometimes the most clown fiesta thing that you can think of is the best thing that you can think of. So
I haven't. How has your Vantage season been going now that you've moved to mid lane?
Oh, we haven't won a game yet.
Sorry, I didn't. That was I should have looked that up before we dug too far into there. So
no, it's going okay. It's definitely a good change of pace.
Yeah, sometimes if you run into Band Rumble, they can
I only have an average of 2 or 3 bans thrown at me every game though. So.
Well, if any of the people on the side of the chat saw the match on Sunday, saw the game where me went up against Evia's Bay in Game 2, there was 7 top lane bans. And it was brutal. So I lost out in game 2. We won in game 1. So it was actually really good back and forth between both games. They were successful in game 2 after we had like almost a 7K gold lead, and that's really frustrating. But we were able to make a little bit of a comeback in game 1. So that was nice to see. I think we're all ready. If they are,
it sounds like they are. Lots of R's going out in chat.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you played much since the last patch?
Played a little bit.
Okay. Have you run into one of the most terrifying, ginormous Cho'Gath problems, or any of the crazy lethality changes yet?
No.
Okay.
I have not seen Cho'Gath once on this patch. I haven't seen the Singed. Because I know the Singed is one of those things that's starting to gain a little bit of
Let me get in there.
He got a little bit of power and a Tristana ban coming out against Matt Brew. I don't know why Tristana's getting banned.
Not sure either. So we'll see how these the teams want to roll up with the new changes here. The Warwick has gained popularity slowly here over the last 3 or 4 weeks, especially in the Stellar and the Supernova division, where we got a couple of junglers who really prefer that champion. So not a surprise to see that ban coming out.
Oh yeah, no, Warwick's a really good pick right now, so it's not surprising to see it banned. Swain, I hope they brought their umbrella, because unfortunately they don't need an umbrella because he's not going to make it Swain this game or something like that. I don't know.
It's great. I made it Swain on Sunday.
Our team's name is making it Swain, and I still haven't picked it yet. I've played 5 different mids in 6 games. I gotta make him next.
Well, just go 0-4 in laning phase, and then end the game with the most damage dealt to champions, and 7 kills. So
there you go.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Interesting banter with the Veigar and the Kayle. These have to be pocket picks or targeted bans towards certain people.
And then Kha'Zix, of course, because Duskblade.
Yes, the Duskblade.
Duskblade is so good on this patch. And then there's the swoop up of Caitlyn, the best AD carry in the game right now. So.
One of the things you said you haven't been paying attention to the Stellar division. While they like Zac, they do not have. It seems like Zac is everyone's 3rd jungler on their tier list.
Really?
Of their most played. So Zac usually gets through the ban phase, and then one team's right at the last second, oh shit, Zac's still up, and then they pick it. So they're really? How did that? Yep, we're taking that. So we'll see how that goes.
Misfortune. I'd be interested to see if Zac actually makes it through, because Zac's 100% ban at this point, pretty much in Galactic, just because everyone's man, Zac's broken as can be. He's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
And Cinderhawk's good, and it's I don't want to play against that. So
yeah, we'll see what they go there. Now the Misfortune being picked up here. How do you feel about the lethality changes, specifically on AD carries? Now that they're they're not as high levels in the game, and now lethality goes off to your own level.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, especially since it, like you were saying, it goes off of base level. There's the Zac. That's the pick I've been looking for. That's what I was waiting for. No, I think lethality on AD carries is kind of a little bit dead. Ghostblade is good, but you have to go crit after that, or else I feel like you don't do any damage, especially since the changes. I mean, if she goes pen build, with a Black Cleaver and a Mortal Reminder, after her Ghost Blade, I think it'll be okay. But at that point, you're just an ulti bot. Like, what do you really do? You're not gonna outdamage a Caitlyn late game unless they all stand in your ult, like a hallway in the jungle, just like. Kled. I've never heard Kled's band quote before, so it's worth it.
It was. By putting the Misfortune ult on, you become a giant target for Zac and Orianna Ball as well.
You become an easy target.
Yeah.
You become a big target and you're an easy target because you just sit there. So.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what the final the bans are here. Clown Renekton band just sort of top lane bullies here at the moment. Maybe trying to figure out which they each want to play. And the Thresh going to be taken away from Witness. So
I think Thresh is honestly the best support in the game right now. And then Soraka. Soraka's like the worst support in the game right now. I don't think Soraka's good.
I don't think. Yeah, Soraka is not decent right now. So she can be annoying, but I think there's too many things that kind of cut through. There's either too much burst or, natural sustain that Soraka doesn't matter. They will go with the Janna Misfortune combo in bot lane. That is a interesting combo.
I'm not a huge fan at this point, but I feel like Janna's best with like a hyper carry kind of thing, and Misfortune's not a hyper carry. But Sion, there's just a lot of dive like on the blue team. Oh, okay, yeah, there's a lot of dive now on the blue team. Just as I was saying that.
Yeah. They will go with the Leona. That is a... Oh, well, Alistar still a lot of dive. A little bit maybe more selective in his diving, but there's a lot of go-in champions and then Caitlyn in the back. So hopefully there's not a... Do we have a proxy pick somewhere?
I think there's a proxy somewhere. There has to be a proxy somewhere. Yeah,
Taric is Maokai.
Taric is the Maokai.
So we will be having a Maokai versus Sion in the top lane, where two tanks that had fallen out of meta are now going to fight and just clear waves. It's going to be awesome. Badger's like, let's talk about mid lane. Orianna versus
Ori versus Ari.
Ori versus Ari. Oh, that's just like season 2.
Sion versus Maokai is gonna be the most boring lane ever. Like, I don't know. Just there's something about that lane that you're just like, okay, well, if you want to watch an undead man in a tree beat the crap out of each other, that sounds pretty cool for you, but there's like the pressure with like you've got Gragas versus Zac jungle, so they can pressure pretty much lanes from any direction that they possibly want to. Mm-hmm. We've got bot lane, which is going to be Janna just trying to disengage the Leona engage every single time and keep the Misfortune safe, while the Caitlyn's just like wailing headshots on everybody.
It looks like we'll be having maybe the A bands going out. We'll see if they actually stick to their original bands here. This looks like Band Line Power just wants to ban out all the A's. So,
understood.
Ori versus Ari.
Ori versus Ari is just like it's like a skill lane. It's kind of like a Syndra Ori. Whoever lands the first ability, like, it's definitely harder for Ori to land Shockwave on Ari than it is for Ari to land Charm on Ori. Just because the sheer fact that Ari is mobile as can be and will have flash, and Ori not always is going to be able to walk out of or blink out of the Charm. So
Now, the junglers, we know we kind of touched on Zac being the most picked jungler, banned jungler, still CC ridiculously strong. Cinder Hulk into Spirit Visage into Stoneborn, or heck, you could go some other armor AP armor item, or sorry, health armor item second into Stoneborn is just so great on Zac. But the Gragas, the being able to disrupt the lines with the ult there, hopefully can give them some type of advantage. Kind of separate out Zac from the rest of his team, maybe ult the backline away of Caitlyn Orianna, while gives his time chance for his carries to take out the tanks, or a tank, and if it's a skirmish, maybe use it to get a pick on Caitlyn, but Caitlyn's usually going to be pretty far back, so
yeah.
I shall endure.
Okay, so blue team's comp is really weird because you have like Caitlyn and Ori like trying to defend themselves in the back line, but they'll be able to do that because their front line is massive as can be with Sion, Zac, and Leona. Just like that front line is crazy.
I think it's Alistar. I think they swapped at the last second.
I thought it was Leona.
Maybe they swapped back.
I wanna
We'll find out here in just a moment.
I don't know. We'll figure it out here in a second.
It just seems that like Miss Fortune is is your like quintessential like one of your wombo combo AD carries, right? That you kind of want to put together. Can you wombo combo with Maokai ult? Not really.
Maybe,
it's way too slow.
Gragas displacement. Okay, it's Alistar.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh well, that's even better for
the blue side.
It's like, how the heck are you gonna walk through Sion, Zac, and Alistar? Like, with Ori ball threat.
Now, if they jump in, Miss Fortune with the help of Janna, a little bit of mobility. Ahri has her dashes. Maybe they just if they are too linear in their approach, they can dodge it and pick them off. But they don't have a lot of pick potential other than the Ahri charm and like a flash body slam from the Gragas in that aspect.
Oh yeah, like you have to just like try and get a pick with like Ahri on a split, and with the other splitter, probably Maokai would be the other split pusher because he needs to flank anyways with ulti for it to actually kind of do anything, since it's just disengage. Like, Red has so much disengage between Janna, Gragas, and Maokai that I actually don't think it's good with Miss Fortune. Because she wants to keep them locked into a certain area, and Gragas and Janna will push people away. Maokai will root them, but...
I like what you see there. You're saying that the disengage coming out on the side of the Yordles there on the red side, where their team fight win conditions are going to be separating Banditos from each other, and then just slowly picking them off one at a time. If you could separate them and then use Ahri Charm to go in there to help, but Miss Fortune just seems not to be the quintessential AD carry to do that. Do you think it's just probably a comfort pick then for in lane against Caitlyn?
The Miss Fortune?
Yeah.
Maybe. Especially with the Triss getting banned and Caitlyn being taken off the table, really the only other thing that I could think into it would be like a Jhin. Jhin or Varus I think Varus is honestly one of the best matchups into Caitlyn. Just because he can go even and clear waves. So either the Jhin or the Varus. And Ashe does really well too. Like there's no counters per se in lane. It's just picks that do well against it. So the Caitlyn does well against the short-ranged ones. She does decent against like Misfortune, and she does decent against like Misfortune and Jin, and then like Varus and Ashe are like the ones that can like go even. And by go even with Caitlyn, I mean like not get your first tower taken. So,
Well, to prevent that first tower being taken, can Gragas hit level 3 and, because he can start Wraiths, and he's on the red side, Wraiths the red to blue, gank bottom, get Misfortune ahead, and then make it a tough time for the Caitlyn Alistar lane?
I don't know. It's rough, because ganking an Alistar sometimes doesn't go as well as you expect it to. Even with a flash body slam and follow-up from Janna Misfortune. But he can disengage it with the headbutt very well. So, just one of those things that we'll have to see how the first 4 levels, depending on how it gets played with Kayla Alistar versus MF Janna, will determine like the next 10 minutes, because whatever the tempo is and how they set the momentum going, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, we will definitely be seeing here in just a few minutes here. So let's get the load screen going on here and load it on up. We will be having the Wannabe Banditos on the blue side for game 1, and I'm Yordles on the red side here. Is it? I never do the intro long enough for the load screen for spectator.
Yeah, for some reason, like the load screen for it takes forever.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have Behind Lion Power up top on Sion, Vance in the jungle on Zac, Thad the Destroyer on mid lane Orianna, Ziggy playing Caitlyn AD carry, and Witness on Golden Alistar with his gold border.
and then on the other side, we have Lost Manifesto playing the Meowkai. We have Ike Runner. I think that's how you say his name. Playing Gragas, Canthor playing Ahri mid, Mapru playing Misfortune AD carry, and Monte Carlo Method playing the Janna in the support role.
And I'm going to guess that they had a basically instant pause based on the lack of starting here. So as we start up. So, level 1s. Team with the Alistar has the advantage. Really? Because no one else really wants to start their CC ability.
Actually, the only one that I have seen level anything so far going through these teams is the Ori. So, yeah, Ori's the only one that's actually skilled at anything.
And put a point in Q.
Put a point in Q. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And
that's just a brush checking ability. So.
There's the party bush.
There is.
That's the party bush. Witness, don't step out too far.
Well, this party bush, not a very good party.
Well, there's nobody coming to join the party. I mean, you only have 5 people in your party at this point. That's like, it's just one of those things that it's like, okay, now they're gonna fan out. Now they're gonna go to lanes.
We'll see if Maokai can get to top lane in time.
Oh, he's got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I wonder what is Zach starting Wraiths?
Yeah. He's going to get some help from Orianna as the Meowkai actually helped out with Wraiths for Gragas. That is interesting. I've not seen a top laner help with Wraiths in a really long time.
I mean, really it doesn't take too long for Maokai to do that, so he had plenty of time to get back into lane, and just little trades back and forth right for now. Nothing too exciting.
Did you see that first double up shot Misfortune landed onto Caitlyn?
Yeah, but it doesn't. Since it has warlords, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I was just about to say. I was like, oh, that's a lot.
And that's the thing too. Like you get that one, and it's good, but then you've got like Alistar and Caitlyn with warlords, and you're just like, okay, well, that's gonna last for about 5 seconds. So, especially with the Doran Shield too, and Lost Manifesto is actually taking a ton of damage in this lane against the Scion.
He has taken a lot of damage up here. He's actually burned through both of his potions and has been using his the kitties there to farm up. Scion's not a champion that can. He didn't take Ignite. This is an AP Scion going for the basically just the mana regen that Scion desperately kind of needs early on. Spending all of his Q damage, just pumping it right into the tree there. Now Scion does have an axe, so he has the advantage, right?
You'd think so. I mean, that does seem like the personal counter. The fact that he's got an axe and he's going against a tree, and here comes the Gragas in the bottom lane. He's gonna just show up for a second, be like, "Hey guys," sit on a ward, and then realize that he probably actually can't gank the lane, even though they're super far pushed up.
And Lost Manifesto has backed already. He's going to pick up boots and nothing else because he's, gold starved at this point at 4 minutes into the game.
He could have bought a potion with it. I mean, just the sustain in the lane would have been good enough, and really he could have sat on... He could have got a mana crystal instead of boots. Because he had 100... would have been close.
I think he felt more comfortable getting the boots to try and dodge the Scion Qs because he maybe seems a little bit uncomfortable. He's been hit by 4 of them now already.
Yeah, there's another one. Oh, and he almost got hit by the E2. That would have been a huge chunk of damage in that trade. So, we'll have to see how it goes. Bot lane, almost a 10 plus CS lead at this point for the Caitlyn and the Misfortune, as expected. 10 plus CS lead in the top lane for the Scion and the Maokai. And Gragas is just clearing the jungle quicker than the Zac is, but he's also done wraiths twice at this point, so that kind of inflates the number a little bit. So they're back in even on CS. He's going to do Krugs. Zac is going to be looking down towards the bottom side. They may be threatening to do a dive here in a second because they know they have the Misfortune low. It's going to hit the Blast Cone and scout up for the Gragas. Or he's just going to walk up.
He's taking the long way. He's
something on mid lane.
I think he's just
trying to see where he is.
I think he's just looking at farm, seeing what's available, what's not.
I think he's checking, and he knows they're low at this point. They could dive it theoretically with the Alistar, but I don't think they want to risk it this early on, especially since they haven't seen Gragas on the map in the last couple of minutes. So Gragas is going to base, and he's going to buy his Tracker's Knife and his boots. Work towards that Cinder Hulk.
We've
Signed us at 6 in the top lane.
The mid laners have had 6 as well, and Ahri's burnt 1 potion. Oh, no, as soon as I say it, Canthar's going to go in with the Ignite.
I was just about to say, I just noticed he took Cleanse instead of Ghost, because if he would have taken Cleanse, he would have been able to get out of the Charm on the initial engage. Well, there it was. He goes in and he gets first blood. Canthor gets the solo kill on the in the Ahri versus Ori matchup in the mid lane. So,
and that was basically just a charm and all in as they were both 6 and the Ignite won out.
Yeah, just he got the Ignite off, and between that's a good combo CC. That's a good headshot proc there. He's gonna get stunned. 1 more hit, flash. Oh, and he gets the body slam after the Alistar flash too. Good play by Kiki Runner. So, but the Ori the Ori lane just comes down to, like I was saying, who gets the first one. So Ari's gonna have the advantage, but Ori's not gonna be behind too far at this point. So she'll be able to farm up safely and try and take control back in the matchup.
So the Caitlyn Alistar, who had the priority to go and force that flash out of the bot out of Gragas there, have actually gone back to lane once because their minion wave was pushed back into him. While Miss Fortune was able to back and pick up a BF sword here for this defense of the blue buff spawning here. Within the next minute, lack of items.
Oh, there's another charm landing in the mid lane, and Ari's gonna go in, and she's gonna get killed again. Canthor's gonna be able to pick up his second kill in the lane. Good job by him to realize that he has the advantage at this point and he needs to push it. So, but Caitlyn goes back and buys BF sword and the
Serrated Dirt? No.
The Kyrie shard. Kirchi's shard. I always mess up that name because there's too many K names.
Spear tip.
Yes, the shard. So
we'll see if Canthor does.
Static shift.
That was dirty. Canthor landed a great charm right after stealing away most of the race from this Zac, and one more blob. Let finish it off. Nope. Orianna is going to get in here. Flash. Come back on the Q. Not enough for Ari. Probably going to go down here. Here is
with a good try there. Oh.
Also trying to get the stun.
On it, because if you get hit by one ability, you're dead.
Caitlyn ult.
Is he actually going to walk out?
Orianna ball. Speed ups and the ult. And Witness. Greedy, hungry cow takes the kill.
Oh, I mean, he had to at that point since the shockwave and the distortion landing didn't finish it. And here comes the Sion down to the bottom lane. See if he's going to be able to get anything done. The knockup's not going to quite land onto the Janna, but the alley-oop's going to hit too, and Janna ult's going to come down. It's just going to put Sion closer to a spot where he can deal a little bit more damage. He's going to try and dive it, but he's not going to land the Q.
Miss Fortune rolled on to the Caitlyn wants to flash and burn heal. Escape that as Sion still looking to go forwards. Gragas' return as we see Lost Manifesto must have teleported into a ward down there to get the root, and now looks like Mapbrew is going to finish off the Sion, but turn around Mapbrew because he fights back.
Yes, he does. Unfortunately, his bark is not as good as his bite there, and he's going to be able to walk out of it alive, but that's going to turn into an Ocean Drake. And that was a great follow-up TP by Lost Manifesto, and especially in a situation where he was down 25 CS in lane at that point, and he looked at the advantage and he said, "All right, I gotta do this." And
Sion's teleporting in here, and Witness is going to go in with his ult, and Zac over the wall. But there's multiple knockups being burnt by a bunch of people here with the CC. Gragas is chugging his barrel, but looks like Alistar will go down first, followed by the Gragas. Another knockup from Sion, but it's now a 2v4. This is not looking good. Caitlyn's trying to come in from the back end, and there's the ult actually going to take out Miss Fortune as Ari lands a Q, and now Sion's running for his life. And does not have... flashes over the wall. Great with a knockup. Does land onto... But the charm comes in return. Now Ziggy's going to look like going to come up here and maybe get some damage in onto Lost Manifesto. And
I think Mankai's dead here.
Maybe... charm right as Ziggy Ito netted into it, actually. So Caitlyn used the ult to pick up Miss Fortune in the fight.
That was
very extended.
An interesting sequence of events because they go in for the contest with the dragon, and they were able to do it because everybody got back up. But it seemed like everybody was, since Caitlyn wasn't there yet, they were walking into it one at a time. And Ori didn't have shockwave up when like 4 of them were standing on top of each other in the pit, or that would have been such a crucial turn of events in the situation, so they couldn't get all the damage that they needed to out. And Ori's got a Dark Seal, and Ari finished Morello Namicon, so Ari's going to be able to go on the split if they want to rotate their bottom lane into mid to try and hold, but I think that they're just going to stick with this right now. Although someone has to go down bottom and contest the Misfortune pushing.
Ari ulted in there, try and catch out on Ziggy, was unsuccessful in that aspect. The tanks are once again fighting in top lane, and Maokai, while being down 30 CS, is now 3-0-3, as we have fighting down here in bot lane as the Zac and Alice are trying to jump into this bot lane combo here as Caitlyn runs in, and there's the Let's Bounce, bringing them back in. Caitlyn ult comes out just in time, does not great Gragas ult, and Body Slam here to try and get disengaged, as Sion's going to pop a charge as Maokai finishes up top, and trading up top, Misfortune ult comes out on the bottom half to persuade any further engage. So the tanks, how do they trade up top? Does ult for ult?
They traded life for life. The Maokai ult came out and he started the dive. So then he tried to go back and finish off the kill, and unfortunately it took one too many hits and one too many turret shots, and Sion was just able to walk up to him after he died and get a couple whacks in, and the turret finished him off with the last hit because he was tanking it up that too long at that point. Mid lane's just like a farm fest, but like
Ari's
not quite
farming
the farm
champions
fest that you expect.
Ari has picked up 4 kills here, so
well, just like, and Kanthor knows at this point that he has the advantage on the Ahri, that he can just pressure this Ori whenever. So Ori's gonna have to play at a point where, yeah, see, look at the damage that came out from that one, like, charm 3 hits of W and a Q combo. Like, that's down to 20% HP, and unfortunately she doesn't get the blue, so she's gonna have to go back to base. Ari's gonna get found out here by the Alistar. Just clear a couple wards.
Orianna has finished the Sword Shoes there. Now, should she be looking to get an early Banshee's Veil here to help protect herself from some of those charms?
Yeah. Like, last chapter into Banshees, Morello's is such a good item, but at this point, when you're 0-3 and you don't have cleanse, you kind of need a Banshees, but it's easily going to be popped. So you can just play around that cooldown as well, since it's a 40-second cooldown after you've stopped taking damage to recharge Banshees. So.
And the tank top lane, yeah, I know you didn't particularly like it, but Lost Manifesto has got the timing down now to dodge the Sion Q with his W to just land it basically perfectly here. But
doing a really good job of trading.
Vance is here now, and with the help of the Zac, Maokai is going to... Oh, but Sion guts right underneath the ult there from Maokai with the help of Zac blocking the way, as we see multiple ults being burnt down in bot lane as the tanks are duking it up top. Ari's going to go for the tower dive here, misses the charm, does land the Q onto Ziggy, who pops a heal, trying to get a finish off, and is not going to go down. Ahri is running as the Destroyer is going to be taken out by Matt Brew with the double up down there. So all the advantage that was gained in top by the Zac Sion on that Maokai was absolutely turned as bot lane here is absolutely going to go down for the Yordles.
Yeah, they did a good job all across the map. I mean, unfortunately, you lose your top laner in the situation, but at the same time, you get first turret. Like, first brick against a Caitlyn in the Caitlyn's lane is just so good for them. Especially when they get 5 kills on Ahri now. There's 3 kills and 5 assists on the Misfortune. She actually went Essence Reaver first time. Oh, and then another BF sword, so it's going to be Reaver Eye Edge, and then Zeal item. So it's crit fortune, not lethality fortune. Well, they see this dragon starting up.
They do. They know there's a pink ward there. They saw Witness place the pink ward on top of the pink ward, and they just, looks like Vance and Ziggy just decided to go straight for it.
I think the timing's pretty good at this point, so they're not going to be able to respond in time. Yeah, and it's dead.
Ziggy misses the net back over the wall there, and so now both teams have an Ocean Drake. Yay for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid.
Or should I call him Team Disney?
Team Disney. Yes, call him Team Disney.
Well, let's look at top lane Tank's fight again because
Tank War.
that's another
Corey's
great charm.
So dead here. Oh no, Canthor, you didn't follow through with it.
Canthor doesn't have
So
Ignite.
basically, at this point, anytime that charm lands, Canthor can 100 to 0 him, especially with like the Xerxes versus Xerxes and a needlessly large rod. He has enough damage in his kit, especially if he gets the double proc of the Q. Just like he gets both orbs hitting, that's just tons of damage.
He didn't have Ignite, and I think that was the reason why he didn't want to go for it.
Yeah,
Or Flash. I'm not sure if he was going to need both of them.
I don't think you need him when you have Ahri dashes.
Yeah, but I don't know. It kind of looked like it had gone under the tower there. So better safe than sorry. Continue his CS lead. Although, as much as Ahri has done in lane, her tower is extremely low. So Thad just been able to at least push up. And looks like we have a flash. Nice. From the shockwave there. Misfortune was caught up in the Alistar. Gragas barrel knocks Orianna aside. But Alistar was headbutted Gragas back under towers. So there's the disengage and separation we're looking for, kind of on both sides a little bit. Just no team was able to pick up a kill.
That was so well played. Okay, so they get the combos off right. They get the shockwave going. They get the left bounce. Unfortunately, just like it comes down to like a game of inches. Like Gragas gets the barrel off, but he gets knocked into the team, so he immediately has to go out. Matt Brew is the only one that gets eaten up by the Let's Bounce, but he gets Janna shielded right away, and he has the heal to walk out. It's just like the little things like that. And here comes Gragas.
They double up on the CC there as Science gonna flash and get the double knockup as Alistar lands only one headbutt there with the pulverize and maybe gets a stun off onto.
Walks out again.
And this is what happened when tanks fight tanks, everyone. A lot of that happens.
Gragas gets like headbutted into turret range and he's just like, whatever, screw you guys, I'm going home. He just walks out.
Gragas does need a Cartman jacket. That would be great.
That would be so cool, actually. I think you should get one after just these last like 2 minutes of play.
Well, the only objective other than the two oceans has been that bot lane tower. Otherwise, people have been more or less sticking to their normal zones here, and we're at 20 minutes, so no Rift Herald, not a lot of jungle invades to take buffs away.
Although Ziggy is farming fairly well on this Caitlyn, and that's kind of a concern because he just has to land like one good shockwave and shield the Caitlyn. Like, if he does those two things, and hopefully he lands more than one good shockwave if he wants his team to win, but he just has to do that. He has to protect the Caitlyn and just try and deal as much damage as he can. Especially when you have a static shift Caitlyn who's sitting on like a 200 gold deficit from the enemy team's AD carry, and you have a Scion who's getting fairly big.
So what do you think about their lane matchups? So they put Orianna in top lane, had the wave clear from the Caitlyn in mid, as Sion's going to go right in here onto Misfortune with the help of Zac, and she got knocked up more than a high school girl at prom. But Janna also with the knockups here. This is
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
And they still continue to do blue buff right in front of him. The ultimate disrespect.
Well, Misfortune has to burn Flash, so Matt Brew really quick on his summoner spells today, as now we have Canthor who's burning her Flash to try and jump in with Zac, and one knockup all comes out from Ahri. Tries to go in there and ults back out. Ziggy's got time on this tower, and that's going to be.
They finally get this turret. Maokai's going to come down and try and contest it, but since there's 4 of them and the Ori's walking, I think Maokai's actually in a little bit of trouble at this point.
An excellent job on the side of the Banditos, all standing behind Zac as Zac tanked the Maokai ultimate, and he was the only one that got snared by it.
The knowledge of the positioning here. They're walking towards Baron, but I think they're actually trying to go for. No, are they? No, what? Okay. What?
This is risky. We are.
They'll get away with. They'll get away with it. This isn't. They don't know this is going on. There's not any pings going out. Gragas is going down towards the bottom side of the map. This is free Baron.
It is a free.
And they can just ride it top. Like Infernal's gonna probably be the trade for it, but they're like scouting him out like this point. Be like, all right, what the heck's going on? Where are they?
Okay.
So they're checking Dragon Pit and they're doing Scuttle, and then they're gonna see the Baron pop up right as Dragon spawns. So they're immediately gonna respond with a Dragon. But then they're gonna have to do this quick enough so they can get back into mid lane and cover this wave that's gonna be crashing into their tower. So blue team has the tempo advantage at this point, and the Maokai's actually having to blow the TP to get into lane, but he's not gonna be able to defend the turret. Like, this turret's going to potentially be gone. Ziggy's in a bad spot.
Oh, that's a great ult by the Caitlyn, and now it's the tanks versus the world here as Witness has to flash out as well. Ahri is on that back end, so a great return kill is we have so many people with the knockups in this game. Is ridiculous.
Sion doing so much damage.
I'm not exactly sure, but that was a great split engage on the side of the Yordles versus the Banditos, who just saw the enemy team and just scattered, even though they had the better positioning.
Yeah, they, okay, here comes the Maokai ult just for the dive.
Oh, jeez.
This is why you need Cleanse right here. And Zac's actually gonna get caught too, and he's gonna get taken low. He's gonna forget about Zac passive though. He's gonna blow it, and there's not gonna be a Zac passive, but it's gonna be not the end of the world there for him.
He still has Baron buff, so I mean, but they're losing a tier 2 in bot lane
but
too.
They're gonna lose bottom wave if they don't go and contest it, because it's being knocked down by. Oh, nope. Just kidding. The minions switched aggro onto who they were hitting just at the last second.
Yeah. Well, this team of 5 pushing into the team with Baron. They did get the Infernal, so a little bit of extra damage to this tower, but really it's just
it's gonna go down. They
just shredded.
The Caitlyn going bottom, unfortunately, lost them the turret because that was their one form of wave clear. Zac and Alistar is not going to be able to clear a wave even with a Baroned up cannon minion. So, what was in favor for the blue team with their Baron Steak, they honestly, since the Dragon was the call at that point, they should have run top lane, because they had a decently sized wave built up at that point, and they were going to be able to rotate through that quicker. Like, they could have been on the turret and beating on the top turret before the red team even finished the Infernal Dragon. But instead, they lose a couple turrets and a couple members and almost another turret down on the bottom side, so they're still unfortunately down 2 turrets with a Caitlyn on the team, but they scale really well, so we'll just have to see how they play these next 5 to 10 minutes out.
We'll see how Thad does up here in top lane against this Maokai, trying to clear out the minions. Burns the ult on the minion wave, so
Shockwave
now
I don't think it was good to blow.
I don't think that's enough.
Use it in this situation.
We'll see who does more damage.
Get it.
Wow. That Maokai deals no damage to towers, and
he doesn't have like a frozen fist to back it up. He doesn't have a sheen item, so that's the one thing that if he was going to be able to push that down a little bit quicker, especially with the AoE.
Well, how much health is left on this bad tower? 126 health. Would you? So that Baron power play that the LCS likes to bring up and show everyone, do you think that was negative?
No, because they got 2 turrets and almost.
They got 1 tower. The team that got Baron got only 1 tower with Baron.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I'm trying to. I thought I'm like, wait, red team had it. No, that's a negative power play for sure. especially with like if you count it in. One of the things you can't factor into it is Infernal Dragon statistics, because that 8% AP and AD on a 616 Ahri and a 318 Misfortune is going to come into play huge here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Once Caitlyn's starting to get her 3 items, Misfortune's going to be in an ideal situation as well with it.
Well, we have an ARAM in top lane now, with a little bit of help of some river bushes, as tanks are stepping on traps and clearing out wards. And here comes the Maokai ult. We're going to go a big version here as Maokai tries to go into the backline with the help of Gragas. They're looking to get onto Ziggy in the backline. That's a great Misfortune ult across all 5 members of the enemy team, and Zach's going to be able to Blitz, bounce him over, but that puts Misfortune right next to Caitlyn, who's going to crit her, and she's going to go down. And there's a charm, and the tanks right now can't do anything as Lost Manifestos come back for this tower. He says, I don't care about the team fight. I want the stupid tower. But Jen is like, nope, that's my tower, buddy. And now Alistar's trying to get out some CC. That's not going to happen as Cyan does not land a good Q there. No knockup as he's going to try and punch Misfortune as she just is going to straight run away. And they have a minion wave coming in with all 5 members still up. This will be tier 2 going down.
Wow. Game of inches, they say. Misfortune misplaced the ulti so that Caitlyn could sit there and auto attack, but then they canceled it, and unfortunately Vance pulled the Ahri and the Misfortune right on top of the backline, so Ori had to skip town immediately, and Caitlyn on Ziggy on Caitlyn just had to like just take it and just die, unfortunately.
Yeah, a double up and a crit, and I think that was literally 2 shots from the Misfortune, and Ziggy was dead.
Oh yeah, no, that was.
He was
brutal.
also at half health. That was a great engage on the side of the Maokai and the Gragas. They threw the ult out, and they just ran at them, and then the body slam and snare and the cast there burnt to keep them in lane, fighting into the Fed Ahri and Fed Misfortune. Just was pretty impressive.
TB's going to come out to save the ward, although Maokai's going to be on the wrong side of the wall. From the rest of the
Ziggy gets 1, 2, 3 shots onto the Misfortune on the back end, and another crit onto Janna as Zach's going to come over. And this is going to be an interesting team fight here as Janna burns all just as it dissipates. No heal coming out on side as Misfortune has not popped anything. Ahri does get knocked up as Gragas and Maokai are going off towards the Caitlyn here. They're trying to get onto the back end as the Ori's putting out bunches of damage. Misfortune comes out just across 2 members, and Lost Manifesto here is just by himself fighting against them as his backliners are just finally chunking away the tanks. And the tanks on the side of I Am Yordles are doing a much better job at being tanks. Here as Gragas is going to go through, taking everything here is absolutely ridiculous. And there's the double up, and that's going to take out the Alistar there, and the charm lands perfectly in on to Zach, who was that to his left? I can't remember. Oh, sorry, Zach passive. I'm like, Misfortune's chasing Ori by herself. Where'd everyone else go? Zach passive.
Zach passive.
They don't have any minions, though. They can't do anything.
The side lanes are pushed up. All the lanes are pushed up. Tier 1's getting threatened top lane.
They can't even seal any jungle.
Yeah, no, they can't do anything. They can get buffs. I mean, if it was longer death timers, they could go do Baron right now, but they're in a spot where that's not a viable option because they're getting their side lanes pushed. So they really couldn't have expected, having to push side lanes like that really quickly. I mean, they were the ones that actually set up the dragon, so they should have done it beforehand, but at the same time, that seemed like a kind of a spur-of-the-moment call because they only had 2 wards in the area and they really didn't sweep as well, since they only have 1 sweeper and that's on the Gragas.
And, sorry, I'm Yordles is up by a 7-8k here, and that's pretty much evenly spread out between the Gragas, the Ahri, and the Misfortune and Janna. They're all up about 1 to 2,000 over their opponents, and as we look at the items, we do have 3 completed items for Misfortune and for Ari compared to the 2.5 on the side of Oriana and Caitlyn. Gragas has got 2 items plus his Cinder Hulk. Where Zach also has that, but Gragas has boots and a chain vest, where Zach just has level 1 boots still.
Wait, Zach only has 2.
Yeah.
He's sitting on socks. Okay.
We're socks. Yeah, we're 32 minutes into the game. We're gonna be like 33 to 35 minutes in the game before he can back, and he's still sitting on socks.
I mean, I guess it's fine since he has 3 major items at this point, but that tenacity from Merc Treads that he would be getting is so crucial. And my guy's setting up a little bush.
And now it's the wave manipulation. And so while a lot of these team fights have gone much in favor of I'm Yordles, the wannabe Banditos have done at least a somewhat better job of pushing out their side waves.
Bot lane's slow pushing for blue team.
Well, that's a dead Zac.
Yeah, it's dead. He's dead, unfortunately, but if they spend too much, if they honestly commit too much time around this area, the bot lane's gonna push super hard for the blue team, and they are going to lose the tournament, but I think it'll be alright because they really can't contest Baron 4v5, especially with Ari.
No Zac here, no steal.
They can try though.
Well, they did the dance where they didn't get in the way, and that's a flash body slam. All right, onto the Caitlyn, and a 5-man shockwave with the Janna ult. Everything's gonna be taken up, but Misfortune is just gonna be absolutely ripping through the tanks because after that shockwave, there was no more DPS damage to come out on the side of Bandito. So Thad the Destroyer land a beautiful shockwave to Null's chagrin as Yordles are now trying to run it down mid lane, but they once again don't have any minions.
Yeah, just unfortunately, since he had to go the Banshee's Veil as the second item, and he didn't get like a Ludens and doesn't have really a Void Staff at this point, because if he had Morello's Ludens Void Staff, that would have honestly turned into a disaster 4v5 for I'm Yordles. So well played by unfortunately it was well played by Thad or Tad or
I call him Thad.
Thad, okay. It was well played by Thad, but he didn't have the damage to break through 2 Banshee's Veils. Or not 2 Banshee's Veils, 2 Spirit Visages and a Janna, so
we see some more completed items being picked up here right as the next dragon spawns, as Alistar is going to eat a full combo to the face from Ari other than the ult, and took about a third of the HP away.
Mid-tier
1?
Mid-tier 2 just dropped to
mid-tier 2 just dropped to minions in the lane where there are super minions pushing. So I'm Yordles. Little touch up here, need to work on the that minion control here because your super minion should never be doing that. As Ziggy
is flanking the
Ziggy's gonna go top and take care of the Maokai as Elder Dragon spawns.
Elder Dragon's up, and there's 2 top, 1 without TP.
Is Ziggy just like, I'm going to give up Elder Dragon for a tower? But the enemy team still has Baron. He's face tanking this tower. This is reckless.
Yeah, that is.
And not the good reckless. He's in Europe.
Oh. He's just gonna get auto to death by a Maokai.
Well, Oriana's going to land a nice 3-man shockwave here as Zac's going to pull Janna and Gragas in under tower, but Lost Man of Thanos, like you said, takes out Z up top in top lane, and now is going to be teleport down here to this fight here as the tanks now are trying to be dealing the damage as Oriana is trying to, has come back from the inhibitor. She was taken extremely low. Zac's going to go into passive and come out there on the death end here. And with this large squad and 2 Baroned up cannon minions and, the super minions from mid-wave, this is probably going to be game.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that Ziggy was top right as Elder was coming up, and they had Baron and pushing bot lane. So it's just one of those things that it was just down to wrong place, wrong time, especially in that when you're I think highest consistent DPS at that point in the game was away from the team, and the fight just got forced. And I mean, Sion got out of there all right, but the Caitlyn didn't, because he didn't really have a way to get out. And Maokai, especially once the face tanking of the turret started, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna go stop him. You guys end the game. That's all he had to do, because he could just kill the Caitlyn.
Well, Caitlyn didn't have any lifesteal, and there was that new Thornmail up on the Maokai during that fight as well, so that really helped. As we touched on a little bit on how going into this match, we thought that the wannabe Banditos had a better consistency of a team comp that could be productive, but when you fall behind in every part of laning phase, including jungle, you're behind in jungle levels and gold, you're behind the top gold because of the kills and global gold from towers, you're behind in mid lane because your enemy laners killed you a bunch of times, you're behind in bot lane because of the ganks that were down there. It doesn't matter how good your team comp is if the enemy teams are steamrolling across the board.
I agree. So,
I mean, it's an interesting weird situation here where Sion is the one on the side of wannabe Banditos with the most damage to champions, considering there's a Caitlyn and an Orianna on his team. And that is a Sion that has built not a single offensive item.
Yeah, Sion base damages is pretty good, not gonna lie.
Are we just gonna touch base on the warding here? That's another aspect to look at. Gragas with the green smite there placed well greater number of wards than the Zac, and that's to be expected. And that extra little bit of vision, I think, really kind of helped Yordle's kind of advance in that mid game there to the much success of their team. Anything else you want to touch on?
Oh, I got nothing.
Okay.
Just the early advantages, and they learned how to play them really well.
Super. It looks like we'll be having a Game 2 lobby made here in just a few minutes here, and I'm going to throw on some music and take a pee break.
Same.
Hello, renting jungle.